What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Social Perspective. I'm Tajji. To my right, I have Ericka. To her right, we have Cherise. To my left, we have Kelly. Let's get right into it. So, question, ladies: do you consider almost cheating cheating?
Ooh,
Go ahead, Kelly.
well, define the almost. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about texting other people? Are we talking about getting numbers? Are we talking like
Oh, that
there's a whole
it is. It's a
gambit
slew.
of
It's a slew of
yeah.
things.
There's
But
so
those are the things that ride the pine of like falling over the ledge of.
I feel like depending on what your intent is with the action has a lot to do with it. If you're texting someone of the opposite sex, like what is your intention? What is it? Is it you know what I'm saying? What is the point?
Yeah,
What's the end result? What are you trying to get to? What are
right.
you trying to achieve in that?
But like, why did that happen in the first place, though?
Exactly.
Right?
Not cool. Not
Not
cool
okay, right?
at all.
Yeah,
At
no,
all. No.
that's my that's what I would say.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, let's define cheating. Actually,
Okay.
let's start there before we get to almost cheating. What is considered cheating?
For sure everyone's version is
Everyone's
different.
version is different.
Everyone's version is different. So there are agreements, right? When do we even determine what's going to be considered cheating in a relationship?
I think it needs to be discussed in the relationship
In the relationship,
early.
okay.
So there's no mishaps. Like the lines, the boundaries are set. If lines are crossed, then you knew what you were doing. You knew that was foul.
Do you think the boundaries should be the same for each person for each in that relationship?
Not necessarily. I think
don't
it's
think so either.
individual.
I do
think
too.
it's individual.
I mean, for if I'm in a relationship with someone, does it have to be the exact same boundaries with them and as it is with me?
No.
That's why I don't think so either.
It's what each individual can withstand, right? What they're okay with, what's going to trigger their insecurity, their manic behavior, right? Like what's going to set you off, what's going to be okay. Me personally, I'm okay with some flirtation, but some people are like flirting, right? Like these terms of like work wife and work husband, having these close relationships at
Don't
work.
play that
These
shit.
I mean, I don't even know what those mean, to be honest, but I hear them being thrown around. But I think there's personality and there's a level of flirtation that does not threaten your relationship. So I think we first need to define cheating is often some threat to your existing bond or your relationship.
Absolutely.
But I think also, here's the thing. If your significant other is interacting with someone else, even though to them it may be innocent, maybe the other person they're interacting with is actually invested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then if they push the limit, are they going to be able to pull back, say no? If it's in the moment, like then it's too late.
It could
So-
be the perception that that door is open for this other party to come
You
in.
shouldn't be entertaining anyone else in the first place, in my opinion.
That's always my thing. I always feel like this. I feel like cheating and almost cheating is almost like, if you could categorize it, almost like a crime, right? Like you have attempted murder. Just because you didn't kill that person doesn't mean that you didn't.
You're still guilty.
Try to.
You're still
right,
guilty.
right,
Yeah.
right.
People still get sent to prison for
Conspiracy to commit.
right, all that, like premeditated, whatever the
Right.
case is. So whenever you do those things that go outside the boundary of the fact that even if you just outside and you just run into somebody and you feel like it was a good vibe, y'all exchange now, that's already a violation in my opinion. Because what is the connection there for beyond having just met that person?
Right. What's the
Like,
intent?
in that setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, there's intent behind that because otherwise you would have never had the intent to exchange numbers.
Well, you're well traveled, right? And you travel alone, correct? So you do meet people where there's just energetic exchanges, correct? Of just, hey, you're in my country or you're in my city and this is a good time. And there are those levels from my belief that you can connect with people and there be no intention of there being something that is sexual or disrespectful. It's just, hey, we are roaming this planet as free humans. A relationship, a marriage is not confining us to have this like narrow-minded view of like, I can't interact with anybody outside of this person. That's extremely limiting.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But
I
he's
think it's-
single. It would be
Yeah.
different if he was. I think. Are you single?
Yeah, it's like-
All right, you just go aside. You're single. You ain't got nobody.
Are you laughing? No, shit.
but I can do that. Like,
Exactly.
But
I
that's a
think
good point, whether
different.
you're single or not. But see, like, why does some individuality get removed then in a relationship? How does that take away from who you are as a human being, roaming the planet with good vibrations and getting to a city and meeting somebody? I'm sure you've had this experience. I've traveled extensively. You meet somebody and they want to show you something or show you around, like, and there's not this undertone of like, oh, this is gonna end up with sex or whatever the case may be. It's just me out there meeting friends.
yeah, but I think that's a little bit different because we all have friends, and sometimes we meet new friends even when you're in a relationship or married, and that's perfectly fine. But I think sometimes you have to create that boundary. What you discuss whatever that is, but then beyond that, it's sometimes a situation where you may have exchanged this information with someone, kept in contact, and whatever your connection was started to snowball. But you never told your partner like, "Hey, I was in Greece, I met this person, whatever." They never told you about the connection. To me, I would consider that a violation, especially if it has evolved beyond we're just cool.
So I think that that's an important part because cheating, right? The transparency is what's making the difference, because as professionals and as humans and as people who are out here in the world, we meet people and we exchange. And if there is a delay or there is an omission of I met this person, maybe the intention is malicious. Because why wouldn't you be like, oh, I bumped in, I made a friend, I was at this festival and I bumped into this person and there was a vibe and it was cool. And if you can be open and honest about that, so then it's in the lack of transparency where cheating is defined.
Yeah,
You might have genuine intentions when you meet this person. The other person might not have genuine.
Correct.
absolutely, which you
And
can't
a lot
control.
of times, your partner in your relationship who is the same sex as this woman can see it before you can. 'Cause
For
we know-
sure.
We know women and we know the
For
little
sure.
words
Yeah.
and the little
110%.
looks and everything. So you might, no, she's cool. She just wants to be friends. She's got a man.
Bullshit.
That doesn't mean anything. We know we got Hodar.
Y'all know,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
when they like, especially
Right.
we know our man is fine. We know what our man provides, and especially if they see us happy, you might not even be their type, not you personally, but the fact that they make us happy, they're jealous of our happiness. So you might necessarily see their intentions, but we will. So
Right.
full transparency is a big deal. And if your girl is not feeling that person, she got to go.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
vice versa. If she meets a guy you don't like him, it's got to go.
Right.
I think a
I
lot of
agree.
it has to do also though with how well and how much trust you have in your partner.
Sure, that's number one.
Because
Trust is everything.
if your partner is
How
moving
secure your
shady
relationship is.
already, then you're going to suspect everything and everything's going to be a problem. But if they are showing you,
Deleting text messages. We talked about that.
yeah. If you got to delete a thread of text messages just in case,
They gotta
like I
check
would
their
never
phone
look through a
outside.
phone in the first place because like
Yeah,
that's just not me. But if anything that you're doing that you are afraid I might see, you're hiding shit, you're fucking cheating. Sorry, can you say
Yeah,
that word?
because because it's
Can we say fucking?
Because it's like
Yes,
we were just
we can.
discussing. Like to me, really, the cheating part and the correlation of transparency is that if the transparency isn't there, if there's a disconnect there, then technically it's cheating because what are you hiding?
Right.
Why are you not sharing this
Right.
information?
Right. It's the deceit that is
Yeah.
defining
Correct.
cheating. Hey, you're choosing to hide something because you know it goes against our agreement. Whether we've sat down in the beginning of the relationship and said, hey, this is agreement, or we had this like just unspoken agreement of what this relationship was going to look like, and you know that your behavior is going against either A, what you wouldn't be okay with, or
Right.
B, knowing for sure that I wouldn't be okay with it. And then there is the behavior.
Yeah.
But I think the temptation for interaction for where you're at in your life, or some esteem, or just, I think we discussed this earlier outside of this, just the feeling like if you still got it, those are natural things that are going to come up. And I think as adults at this age, we understand temptation and we understand connection and we understand vibrations enough to give our partner space to even be able to bring that to us, right? Like maybe you want to be transparent, but your partner is not even open to hearing that you have natural feelings of attraction to other people, which is natural.
But you know what? If you are in the mind frame where you're out and about and you want to see if you still got it, then you don't need to be with somebody in the first place. You don't need to be in a relationship.
Right.
Because why? If you're happy at home and you've got everything you need, why are you acting like the grass is greener somewhere else?
The 80-20 rule.
That's stupid. That's stupid to me.
It's stupid, but I think that a lot of people fall victim to it. I think a lot of us,
After 7-10 years of marriage.
I think when you get into it and you get into a routine with a partner and it's a long-term relationship, I think you do start to question those things. And romance is one thing that we know leaves long-term relationships and partnerships, and that original dating and butterfly feeling. I mean, I don't know anybody's longevity in relationships, but that is going to be a part of it, of falling into responsibilities and into roles and missing this part of life that you had, where someone doesn't see you for all the responsibilities or all the things that you're not doing. They just see this like exciting piece of you. So I feel like in most long-term relationships, people are going to come to a point where they feel that they're looking for that fulfillment.
So I have a question for everybody. What is going to hurt the most, if someone cheats on you physically or if they have an emotional connection with someone else?
Emotional for
Me
sure.
too. What about you?
That's tough, Tajji. I need some time on that one.
I think naturally a man is going to be like physical. No dude want to hear about his
No, I know.
man. No man, like off rip, like.
But if my man fell in love with somebody else or is emotionally attached to someone else,
That hurts us.
then just a
get
quick
it.
smash on a drunken night or like whatever the case may be, I don't know. When there's more connection,
If your girl had a bad day at work, but she's calling someone else to tell about her day, or if her family member dies
nah.
and they cry on someone else's shoulder and not your shoulder, that's what we need.
Yeah, I feel like though if it got to that point, because obviously it would have taken time, because it's not like women, y'all don't emotionally connect with people immediately, right? Like
The time
when
it
you
took to get
develop,
there.
yeah, but by the time, if you've gotten that far to that point of calling some other dude and telling them about your day or whatever the case is, like the minute I find out, it's pretty much over at that point. Because what I'm gonna do to try to bring that back, and why would I, if that ship has sailed so far that you're doing that already?
Right.
Like I would be like, nah, I'm good. Physical, yeah, I could probably bounce back from that, but that's an immediate thing for probably 100% of men. Like
Yeah.
we probably off rip. I'm speaking for all men by saying it. Like I know we gonna be like, nah, but what's going on here? Like
For the physical or the emotional?
for the physical.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
hey,
yeah,
it's a
the
no.
emotional,
I feel like
yeah,
it's a no either way.
Yeah, but emotional, pretty much like that's pretty much like the automatic, like we out of there. I would assume, because what do you do to rectify? I'm not saying that there's no opportunity to do that,
Yeah.
but the fact that
So far
there's
gone
that
with that.
much of a disconnect that has happened for them to be in that space doing that, you're basically almost like living a second life.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, like, okay, cool. If that's where you feel like your connection is and it lies and that's what you've been doing, then you can have that.
Take your ass on over there,
Yeah, I'll be good. I'm good. You could just go with that.
for sure.
Because no, like why else?
I mean, I can't even be too friendly.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't play that shit.
Comments on anyone else's page. You're not.
And I think that's all fair. Yeah.
I've been through that
Friendly
already.
where a girl can say, "Oh, I have access to your man. Like, oh, your man he does that for you. He'll do that for me, or I can get his attention." That to me is a big no for me.
Oh, I get it.
Let them know who your woman is. They can't have access to you.
Yeah.
And I would give them the same respect, of course.
I agree.
Absolutely. Well, I think the interesting thing about social media and real life to me is that they really do parallel each other like almost synonymously from the standpoint of like, if let's say let's say I'm married and I'm online and I'm commenting on all these women's pictures and doing this, that, and the other, then you can only imagine what I'm doing in real life.
Exactly.
You
That's
put
what
me
I
in
was
a
just
club
about
and
to
there's some
say.
baddies in there, then you just assume that I'm doing that.
If it's
That's
okay
exactly
to
what
do
I
it
was
there,
about to
it's okay
say.
to- yeah,
I'm
If you're
giving this
like
for a visual for everybody to see.
like all these little cute broads, then
Straight
you
up.
best believe in real life, your
You
ass is
already
doing
know,
the
and
same
you know
thing
it's probably
you looking
happened worse.
and liking in real life.
Straight
I
up.
don't know about that because I
know.
feel like social media is virtual reality. It is not real. People are pretending to be somebody who they aren't, and they actually have more confidence on social media than they do in real life. So sometimes people are using that space as a guise because you can present whoever you want to be on social media. So as you're liking, for me, it's like if it's my man and you see a social media, you have no idea who my man is. I am with my man 24/7. I know his background, I know his history, I know who he is. You see a social media perception of this person because this is whoever you want to be. You don't see their trauma, you don't know their pains, you don't know anything going on. And a lot of people have this social media confidence going on in life where they are sliding each other's DMs that they would never have this confidence
True.
energetically
Oh,
in real life. Like social media ain't got shit on who I am in person, in reality.
for sure.
This energy shines way beyond that.
It still can't tell you a lot about a person. It really can. There's a,
It cannot. It's
I'm
lies.
telling you that what I mean is, for example, you have two different guys. They're both in relationships. This guy is respecting his girl, and he might look at pictures. This guy is liking every single naked picture of this girl. There is a difference between the two, and social media reflects that. It magnifies that sometimes.
It's just
There's a lot of
fantasy.
privacy
It's
that
just
there are other
fantasy.
people
I mean, you could
who
be
are
watching
like,
porn.
There's a guy that will, and there's a guy that won't. And
Yeah.
I see that when I'm dating someone. What's their activity looking like? Who are they liking? Who are they following? If every girl they're following is naked, that says a lot to me. That's a red flag to me.
For
It
sure.
doesn't mean that's their Instagram persona. That's really what they want to see.
Right.
So you're right, and there's another side to that.
It's now public because you could just be on sites
they
looking
are
at it
public,
when it's not
we're in
public.
Arizona, it's hot.
No,
Right.
Girls were walking around naked damn near all day in Arizona. So you best believe
So
they're
this-
liking and looking in real life.
Right.
They can
That's
like
what
it
I'm
and
saying.
look all they want to, but they're liking. That means I want you to see that I liked your picture.
But if the
otherwise,
girl-
you admire it and move on.
But
To
in real
actually
life-
hit the button.
Right.
It's a different thing.
But if the girl in real life that they're looking at and liking is bold enough to be like, hey, hi, what's your name? Nice to meet you. Guess what? We're off to the races.
Yeah.
And there's the portrayed first question.
Yeah, we are off to the races. And if you can snatch him from under me, like, I don't know,
Exactly.
good job.
Well,
like,
I know,
and
but-
congratulations.
still,
like,
it's just
because,
like-
and thank you for getting him
Right,
the
away
hell up
from
out of
me.
my way so my
Exactly.
real
'Cause
blessing
it's
can
just
walk
so you can
in.
have him.
Right, because I'm not
He's
about
no
to fight
service to
tooth
me.
and nail for a wandering eye. Like,
That's
if that's what it's
Yes,
supposed to be.
exactly.
Like, people are going to look. Everybody has a wandering
visual
eye. They look at,
creatures,
right, we
of
are
course.
visual creatures. We are not naturally monogamous creatures. So to put something on somebody to be like, you know, I'm going to put a lock and chain on this person so they don't leave me. You're only blocking your true, whatever's for you. You're not attracting your true energy
I do
because
get
you're
that.
so worried about snatching somebody up and keeping them with you. Honey, if it's something out there that looks better to you, seems better to you,
Go get it.
please go sample it.
yeah,
And then when you turn back to see that it wasn't, I'm
come back
not
over
even on earth anymore, baby. I'm gone. So at that point,
100.
I don't know. I'm not about to live like that. I'm not about in this day and age with social media and all the temptation that there is and all the eye candy. There just has to be an understanding. There has to be trust with your partner. You have to have confidence in yourself to know that, hey, if that is for you and you think that that's for you, I don't want to block you. You don't want to block me. Please go.
Yeah.
But if it's a like here, honey, if you cannot dethrone me, you really don't pose a threat to me. I have no competition out there. I'm not worried about anybody getting likes from my partner on Instagram. You do not have my life. You do not have the access and you do not have the treatment
Yeah.
that I have been provided with. And
Right.
until you take that, it's just not a threat.
To a lot
That's
of
good.
girls, it is.
Yeah. I think like we kind of hit on before, that particular situation also relates to how your relationship is in the first place.
Trust, right?
Yeah.
Because if
Sure.
your relationship isn't like solid and you really don't trust your partner, then it's going to be a problem. I've been accused of cheating and wasn't doing a goddamn thing. So if you think that that's what I'm doing, guess what? I know you're entertaining other people.
Right.
Like, and then It's a snowball.
Yeah.
So
And I think the other side of that too, technically they could easily not be doing it,
could be
but it's
traumatized.
because they're carrying baggage from other prior situations. They're traumatized from, their last situation, whatever the case is. It's like, at the end of the day, you really got to have a strong grip on who you are as a person first.
Right.
Because if you don't, and then you go into a situation with somebody, you bound to fuck that up.
Right.
Because you haven't got the tune-up that you need for your car to be running efficient. Like, why are you shouldn't be on the road right now, and you shouldn't have nobody in your car with you.
Right.
You should be at the auto shop getting your shit fixed. Don't be here. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because otherwise you're just pushing that bad whatever on somebody else.
Yeah.
That's an important piece, is even getting into why the behavior is occurring. What is going on? Why are you feeling that you need this, that you need that? And as a partner, as joining up with somebody in life, we're here. We find our mate to help them heal their trauma, to help push them through it, to help that show up and to get them through it. So some of that is being understanding enough to be like, what is going on? Why are you not feeling fulfilled? What is empty? What hole is missing? And being able to have the maturity to sit with somebody through that phase in their life.
Yeah,
I mean, you
sure.
go through your 20s. If you get married at 17, 18 years old, I mean, God dang, when you get into your mid 20s and life changes and things happen and you're at a different point and you've been with this person, things are going to come up. Your partner, you should be able to sit with this other human being and say, I'm having these desires, these things are happening, I'm not feeling fulfilled in this area, whatever is going on. And this person in your life, what I feel a partnership is, it's an agreement, it's an ace boon coon. This person is not here to suppress me, to possess me. They're here to uplift me and open me up to getting to my best version
that's
in life.
Right.
how it should be.
Right.
So if I'm feeling some kind of way, I should feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, hey, this is what's going on. And for us to brainstorm together and determine what's fair, what's right, and what's going to help us be our best version, what's going to help us grow together as people and as individuals and as a couple.
But so that's eloquently put. But how many people have those communication skills?
They
Not
don't.
very many.
No.
That's okay.
Not
But
most.
podcasts like this,
That's the
conversations like
problem.
this is why we're trying to change it for the next generation. You come from infidelity is a huge thing.
For sure.
It really is. If we're looking at couples and we're running numbers and statistics, it's going to seem like we are trying to conform to something that is not natural
Right.
by evidence of how many people cheat.
Yeah.
And so we need to get to that. Why is that occurring? Are we not naturally that way? Is there a structure that we're missing? Is there something historically that we skipped over? Did we get to romantic love? Are we letting movies make us think that things are a certain way? Monogamy by nature is to preserve wealth through marriage and to say, hey, I'm not just going to have all these partners because we're trying to pass something on.
Right.
And so we may just be trying to force an unnatural behavior where we could sit down with a person and say, hey, what is it that you like? What is it that you desire? This partnership, this structure that we're going to be in, this marriage, this relationship, we're going to operate this way for the benefit of you, for the benefit for me, and for the benefit of us. And outside of this is what's okay. And this is what is not okay.
Right.
This doesn't help me be my best person. Like you said, you don't want your man liking a bunch of pictures. It's going to drive you crazy. It's not going to help you be the best version
Naked
of you.
pictures.
Naked
I wanna be
pictures.
clear on that.
Okay.
Naked pictures.
I mean,
So
let's
so
be clear, most
clothes,
of the Instagram at
clothes
this
for beautiful
point
women is
naked.
okay.
Over and she's spreading her cheeks.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I just don't get, I feel like there's beautiful women. I don't have a problem with that, but I feel like it's disrespectful because I'm
When they're always
respecting-
shaking their ass and this, that, and the other.
So you
I
would prefer do that in
personally-
hiding. So if he wants to look at naked people,
Let's
you
go
just
to the
want him
strip
to.
club. I'll be the one. I'll go to the I'll beat you to the ATM.
Man.
Oh, so go like the photos with them on Instagram.
This is different because you could go to a strip club. That's a place of business where we go. Like Instagram, I feel like it's a different platform. It's more public. Everybody can see what you're doing. You're out there. I think strip club, there's a time and a place to look at ass.
So it's a pride thing
I
that
think it's a
somebody
respect
else
thing.
can see something.
I think it's a respect thing.
I think pride and respect go hand in hand.
I'm
I
trying
think
to
it's
understand.
I think it's a fair grouping of the two. Obviously sometimes people feel disrespected because their pride took a shot, right? because of whatever the situation was. So I feel like that's a fair assumption though.
Well, I'm listening into like it's okay to like the naked woman. It's not okay to do it publicly. That's what I'm
like
hearing.
I said, I don't have any problem with admiring, but to actually, why do you have to push the button to let them know that you liked it? That's the only difference. When you push that button, it's just letting them know that you already know you like it. Why do they have to know?
You know what? I don't even mind an occasional button.
An occasional
But
button.
when it's just
I-
ridiculous, like
That's what I
it's
mean.
like, come
There's
on.
There's an extreme. I'm not going to like a bunch of. Well, I might.
Yes, let's get into ourselves.
I actually don't.
But you might like something that looks like eye candy.
I might like it, but I don't have to push the button. I might admire it, like, damn,
Okay.
that looks nice. But especially if I'm in a relationship, I just do things where I do everything that I would want him to do. I don't do anything that I wouldn't want him to do.
I'm the same way
I
though.
tried
Like
that.
I won't do
I
won't do
tried that.
anything. Like I don't have any expectation for her to do anything that I don't do myself. Like
Right.
I carry myself with a certain level of
Integrity.
the same thing that I want her to carry herself
Exactly
with.
that way.
I'm not squeezing no blood out of a turnip expecting different behavior from her if I'm doing something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if you're sitting with your man and he's on Instagram and he's like, ooh, and he showed, this looks nice.
Then we can
And they're
enjoy
and
it.
they're
Yeah, let's
right, there's
enjoy it
transparency
together.
and liking
Enjoy
it.
it together. But when
Right.
you go to the
Why
bathroom
does
and
she
sit on the
have to know?
toilet and like,
Right.
There's no
Right.
difference. The enjoyment is the
Man.
same.
Some shitty lights.
Why the only difference is that button being pushed. Why does she have to know that you like it? Why you being like, damn, that's a bad bitch, and then keep going, and then just scroll.
You know what? I think that's legit.
Thank
But let's come back to that. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.